and welcome back to my channel, Flamingo Homeschool. I'm Angela and I'm going to give you my top 8 tips for new homeschool moms. So I'm going to go in kind of reverse order here. So I'm going to start with number 8. Take your time picking out your curriculum. I cannot stress this enough to you. When we first started homeschooling, I was in such a hurry to pick out a curriculum that I thought would be best for our kids. And it was one that's been around a long time and one that I had heard really awesome reviews about. I did a little bit of research and I thought it looked good. And so I purchased this really expensive curriculum. For both my daughter and my son, the full curriculum with all the extras, and it was super expensive. We used that curriculum for about 2 months. It was super labor intensive for me as a teacher. It was super labor intensive for my kids with a lot of busy work, which may work for some people, but for our homeschool, it did not work at all. And my kids were frustrated, I was frustrated, and I was really rethinking, should we be homeschooling? So we put that to the wayside, and it was really hard decision to make because we had spent a lot of money on it. And I knew that we had to really keep whatever else we bought to a reasonable cost. So we ended up purchasing something that was very inexpensive for our kids for math and language arts. And it was very open and go, which was amazing for me and amazing for my kids. It kept them engaged, and we still use that curriculum to this day. They absolutely loved it, and so did I. And so I wish that I had kind of took a step back in the beginning and waited, did some more research, watched some more videos on YouTube, and kind of saw what kind of learners my children were. Did they need that spiral learning where you just repeat kind of things while adding in new concepts, or did they need something that was a lot of language arts based where they auditory learners where I'm reading a lot to them, or story-based math, things like that. So I really wished that I had done that, because it would have saved us so much frustration and so much money. So that is my number 8 tip for you. And if you see me looking down here, it's because I have some notes down here. Number 7. Find out what free resources your library has available to you. I can't stress this enough. We absolutely love the library. We love books. We love reading, and it's amazing for that. But did you know that your library probably has some sort of program that you can take advantage of for audiobooks, for DVDs that can be educational? Some libraries even have curriculums that you can use and check out there. Also, lots of libraries will have things where you can sign up to get on a list to get tickets for museums, zoos, botanical gardens, things like that that can be educational in your area that you can take advantage of for absolutely free. We have gotten tickets to our children's museum locally, to our botanical gardens, to our zoo. I can't remember other things. There's other museums that we have here that you can get tickets to in our area, and they're absolutely free with your library card. Sometimes places will have free days for people who have a library card, so you just show them your library card and you can get up to 4 or 5 people in, depending on where you live and what programs they are. But they're amazing resources to use for absolutely free. So I highly recommend that you check that out for sure, not just for books, for all kinds of amazing things. So that's number 7. And then number 6, this one is a hard one. It's a hard one for me to do, and it's a hard one for probably any mom to do. It is carve out some time for yourself. okay? I know it's hard. Trust me, I know. I am a part-time working mom who is a stay-at-home mom. I work from home, and I also have started this YouTube channel. I have church things that I've committed to. My children have sports, so it's a very, very hectic thing to homeschool my kids, work, and all this other stuff. So I understand completely that carving out that time for yourself is not anywhere near the top of a priority sometimes, but do it. I can tell you right now that if you don't carve out that time for you to be replenished and you to be refreshed, then you will not have anything to pour into your kids. You will not be able to keep your cool. I can tell you this from experience, because when they get their little attitudes because they're young and they don't, all kids do at some point. And so you want to snap back. I'm telling you, if you're already cranky because you didn't get enough sleep or you didn't have a minute to yourself all day, it is not easy to keep that cool and put that relationship in the right priority. So take that time, even if it's 10 or 15 minutes. Take that time at the end of the day or at the beginning of the day or in the middle of the day, whenever you can fit it in, but make sure you fit it in. It will make your homeschool run so much better because you will be refreshed and you will have so much more to pour into your kids, okay? So number 5, think about the goals that you want for your children. And not just academic. Academic goals are good and they're amazing and we have ours, but the goal of who do you want them to be? What characteristics do you want them to have? What things do you want them to know down in their heart of hearts that is their moral compass, that is their, this is right, and even if no one's watching, this is right. Those kind of things that are non-negotiable that you want them to know, so that when they get out into the world, they know where they stand on things. They know, different things. These are right, these are wrong. What are those things? So write those goals down too, and make sure that you can look at them periodically, just so that you can see, this is why I'm doing this. This is, what we need to work on. I want them to have manners. I want them to be polite and say please and thank you. Things like that you really want for your children. I want them to have a kind heart. I want them to make everyone feel included. Things like that. Write those goals down so that you can look at them and see, this is why I'm doing this. This is why we're homeschooling. These are the reasons why, because I want this for my child, or I want that. Not necessarily to change their personality, because their personality is unique and amazing and wonderful, but to help guide them. So that's number 5. Okay, number 4, give yourself and your kids some grace and protect that relationship. If your attitude gets, frustrated, or their attitude gets frustrated, give them a few minutes. Let them go and do something else for a few minutes, or give them a hug. I cannot tell you how many times. Now, my kids are 6 and 7, so they don't, they still want hugs. Some of your kids might be older and they might be like, what are you doing? I don't know, because I'm not there yet, but I'll let you know when I do get there. But I cannot tell you how many times they have had a frustration because they can't get a concept, or a meltdown because they don't want to do work, or just because they're having a bad day, or they have big feelings, or they're sad about something else, or frustrated with something else. And just stopping what I'm doing and saying, come here, let me give you a hug, and just giving them a hug until they are, feeling a little better. And it only takes like 10-15 seconds, but it makes such a huge difference in our days overall. And just talking to them and saying, look, hey, what's going on? I understand that you're feeling frustrated. Let's talk about it. Even when they're throwing a fit, if you just kind of go in with that, I understand, or I can see that you're upset. What's making you upset, kind of a thing. And then you can kind of talk about it. Now, you may or may not be able to resolve it with that, but I can tell you there's been numerous times where a hug has really changed our afternoon or our morning or whatever. So give yourself some grace. If you're having a bad day or you've got a migraine or something, take a day off, or take the morning off and work in the afternoon with them, or something else. Let them paint the garage door with water, if they're young enough, things like that. Let them do something else, or take the day off. Just give yourself grace. There's going to be school there tomorrow for you to do. So don't feel like you can't take a break. They can't take a break, okay? And number 3 kind of goes hand in hand with that a little bit. So don't be afraid to change it up. If something is not working in your schedule, if your curriculum's not working, you guys have heard me say this. If you've watched any of my videos, it's probably in almost every single one. I am someone who is not afraid to change it up if something is not working. If something is not working for you, find something that will work. Now, that's not saying that you should, be like, okay, we've done this curriculum 2 days, it's not working for us, bye, and then go on to another one. But if you've given that kind of a chance, then, if it's really not working and it's not working for your kids, they're not getting it, look into something else that could possibly help, or that could, change it up. Same thing with the scenery. Kind of like what we were talking about, give yourself some grace and your kids some grace. Don't be afraid to change up where you're learning. If you're learning in your living room and there is an attitude there, go snuggle in your bed with them and read a book to them and just read aloud. Or go outside and, let them have popsicles under the tree and read to them, or do a nature study outside. Just go change where you're doing it. Go to the library. We talked about all the great resources there. Find a corner of the library and just sit there and do their work with them there. Just change it up. If something's not working, don't force it, because I'm telling you, it will not help them learn anything. It will frustrate you. It will frustrate them. I have learned this the hard way, because I am a very type A personality, and I want everything to be done on a schedule or things like that. But sometimes, everyone is humans. Everyone needs a minute. So sometimes you need to change it up. We had, for instance, one time where we were doing math and we were struggling to get a math concept, and we were just having a complete meltdown, my daughter. And so I said, you know what? Let's go into the kitchen. We're going to make some blueberry muffins. And guess what we were doing? We were using fractions to put in the ingredients, and, oh no, we only have a 1/4 cup measuring cup. We need 2 cups of flour. How many of these do we need? And my daughter could figure it out just like that, because she wasn't stressed out. She wasn't having that bad day anymore. We were just having fun. So don't be afraid to change where you're doing school, what you're doing with school, schedule, time in your schedule. Don't be afraid to change it up and say, look, we can't fit all this in one day. We've got to move some subjects around and loop them, or something like that. Don't be afraid, okay? So number 2, set a time for school to be done for the day. Like I said, I'm a type A personality, so for me, it's like I want to get all these things done, and that was just making me miserable. It was really making them feel like they weren't doing enough, and they were, because there were some days where they would do 4 or 5 pages of math, and some days where they would do 1, and so it balances out. And that's not to say you can keep track of what your kids are learning to make sure that they hit the goals that you've set for them, but for me, they were hitting the goals, but I just wanted to check those boxes. So I had to kind of pull back on that. I had to say, look, I can't have everything in one day. I can't, we can get everything done, just not all at once. So we had to change up our whole schedule. So set a time where the day is done and your kids know that at this time, school is done, whether we finished our work for that day or not. That's how it is. That's how it is in regular public school. That's how it is, anywhere. And honestly, the amount of stuff we get done in a day is a lot more than I believe that they were getting done at school, at actual school. Take breaks if you need them, but set that time at the end where okay, it's 1:30, we're done with school, or whatever, it's 12:30 or it's 3:30, whatever it is, but you set that time and know that, okay, even when we're not done, we're going to drop everything and then we're done with school and we're going to have family time and we're going to have whatever time. Let them play outside, let them do all kinds of things, but make sure that they have that consistency where they know that there is going to be an end. Otherwise, it's just going to be consuming your whole life. It's going to be running your whole life. And we definitely want to encourage a learning lifestyle, but we also don't want to create that hatred of, sorry, my earbuds. We also don't want to create that place where they're like, this is never going to end. Okay, so that was number 2. Number 1, my number 1 tip for you is do not compare your homeschool, your children, yourself to any other homeschooling moms or other moms, period, or anyone else's homeschool at all. It will kill your joy. It will kill the happiness that you get from this wonderful, amazing experience of being with your children, getting to mold them and shape them, and see that light go in their eyes when they finally grasp something that they've been working on, or when they understand something and they're amazed by it. It will kill that joy. Your children are yours because God gave them to you. You are equipped to teach them. 100% I believe that you are equipped to teach your children. I am equipped to teach mine. And something that works for you may not work for me or my children. Comparing what your child is doing or what you are doing with your child, oh my gosh, she puts together these amazing unit studies and they are just elaborate and expensive and I can't do that. Guess what? My kids can learn amazing things in unit studies the way that I prepare them and the way that we work for us. That might not work for us. Maybe your children need that structure and this woman keeps her kids on a schedule and she's got them, boom, 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 and it works great and they, get through everything in one day, but that might not work for me. You know your children best. You love your children the most. You know what they need the most. God gave them to you because He knows He's equipped you with everything you need to go ahead and teach them. Same for me. And I can tell you right now, comparing yourself to other moms or other homeschools, it will make you miserable. It'll steal that joy. It'll steal that amazing journey of your children and you learning and growing and everything that you want it to be. It will totally steal that. So please, please get inspired by other homeschool moms. Get inspired by things that you see in different curriculums and things like that, but don't compare, oh, my kid can't read like that, or my kid can't do this. Some people are naturally better at certain things, so they will get it. Just keep being faithful, but don't compare, because that will just, instead of seeing those good things that your children are amazing at, you will focus in on those things that they are not good at, and it will not only make them feel like they are, inadequate, it will make you feel like you're inadequate. It will make everybody miserable, and it won't be a joyful thing anymore. So please, please, don't compare, okay? Well, that is it. That is all 8 of my tips. I know, I rambled on a little bit, but I really wanted this video to come from my heart to you guys, because there's so many things that I really wish I had known when I started, and I really hope this helps your homeschool and blesses you. And please leave down in the comments if there's anything that you want me to answer, any kind of questions or any videos you want me to make. I would love to do a question and answer or anything like that. So I just want to thank you guys so much for watching and supporting me and my channel. And I also want to say like and subscribe if you like the content. I hope to see you guys very soon for more videos. Thanks a lot. Bye.